Hey comic bookies, this is Danni Danger, and today's episode is Matt Johnson's Incognegro. I know it's going to happen, I'm just waiting for the day, or somebody's going to email me and be like, you mispronounced my name. And it's like, well, I'm really sorry, Mr. Snuffleupagus. This stirring historical fiction is about a journalist named Zane Pinchback. He lives in New York City, and he is an African-American man who is light-skinned enough that he is mistaken for white. He goes incognegro to investigate lynchings in the South. The first thing about this book that grabbed my attention was a very candid foreword by the author Matt Johnson. He talks about his own experiences growing up a black man who is sometimes mistaken for a white man. He also talks about the inspiration for the story coming from having two twin daughters who were born with two separate skin tones and understanding what that might mean for them growing up. And he also was very inspired by Walter White, who is the former chief executive of the NAACP and in the early 20th century went incognegro himself. After the foreword, the first 4 pages of this comic are brutal. They really will incite a lot of anger in the reader. You see these scenes of this man being lynched and tortured to death by kids, by elderly people. And you have a conversation that's happening in a place elsewhere over this where Zane is telling his friend Carl and Carl's lady friend kind of about what he does and the things that he's seen and the position that being incognegro has put him in. This conversation is very illuminating because it shows you a lot about the mindset of Zane and his friends living in the northern part of the United States versus those black men and women who are living in the southern United States and what is going on socially there. We then follow Zane as he has a conversation with his editor about his desires to get more recognition for his work. Obviously, with the nature of being incognegro, he cannot reveal his identity, so he's not getting any creative credit as a writer for the work that he's doing. He wants to start an arts column. He wants to be a part of the thriving Harlem Renaissance that's going on at this time. Zane's dream of an art column, however, is put on hold when his editor brings him a story of a man down south who's been accused of murdering a white woman. And this case hits particularly close to home for Zane. We follow Zane to Tupelo, Mississippi, where he has to solve the mystery, save an innocent man, and keep his tag-along friend Carl in tow. I won't give anything away about the ending, but I do have to say the incognegro reveals his identity to the world in a way that you really don't see coming, and it's pretty awesome. One of my favorite parts of this particular story is when Zane is getting ready to go incognegro for this one last time. He talks about how superheroes that he's so big into wear a lot of masks. And he's a superhero, but he doesn't. Instead of adopting a mask, he adopts a different race, a different identity, and he talks about the power of that identity being able to swap in and out. And it's a really cool, powerful message, especially for someone like me who's really into comics and really into the superhero vein. One of my favorite aspects of this particular story is some of the unexpected humorous moments that you come across. Matt Johnson has a gift for gracefully inserting humor into a book that would otherwise be, pretty difficult to read because it's very emotionally stirring. War and Peace has some amazing artwork in this particular story. Everything is just black ink, white page. You do have to kind of give the characters a little bit harder of a look because there's no gradation, there's no shading. So you're not going to be able to tell initially which characters are white and which characters are black. There was some criticism when I looked online and I read some of the reviews of this book. There was a little bit of criticism that people had a hard time telling which characters were white and which characters were black. And the first thing that really popped into my mind is, duh, that's kind of the point. You're not supposed to tell who's white and who's black. Race is sort of just a matter of gradation. And if you're feeling like that's a problem with the book, I kind of feel like you missed the point of the story. Check out Incognegro. It's an incredibly powerful story. It's really well written, beautifully drawn. I recommend it to anybody, especially if you've never read a comic before, you don't know that you're into comics, you don't want to do a lot of sci-fi or fantasy, you want to keep it down to earth. This is an amazing read and it'll grab you. It really will. Make sure to subscribe so you can see more of our reviews and more of what we're talking about. Please like us, share us with all of your friends, tell everybody you know, and leave what you think down in the comments. Tell me what you think of Incognegro. Have you read it? Do you want to read it? Go out and read it right now and then get on YouTube, watch the video again, and then comment on it. Thanks again, as always, to Austin Books and Comics for allowing us to shoot in their store. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Danni Danger. And everything seems to be just fine until the goblin realizes that Orphan's about the same size as a chicken. Does cat taste like chicken? And there's some particularly funny conversations going on about Loki's first impression of social media and why no one on the internet believes that he's really a god.